This is a guide on how to install Windows 10 from a USB flash drive for free. So hook it into the computer. We are going to need an up and running computer. It just popped up right here. We're going to need an internet connection. So we're going to go to Google and we're going to download from Microsoft's website the media creation tool. It just came up. So it should be the first result. I'll post a link in the description to make it easier. So we're going to have to download this. And I'm just going to put run the tool right now. So it's downloaded and I'm just going to go ahead and run it. This is from Microsoft's website. Getting a few things ready. So before we go through the setup process, this is going to be our finished product. We're going to have a clean install of Windows 10 with one downside. See this bottom right watermark? It says activate Windows, go to settings to activate Windows. So if you want to do it free of charge, you're going to be installing an unactivated version of Windows. What does that mean? Well, really all it means is that you're going to have a bottom right watermark telling you to activate Windows. It will still function like an activated version of Windows. You'll be able to browse the internet or play your video games, whatever you want to do. So maybe the watermark doesn't bother you and you don't mind, but maybe it does bother you. Well, you later have the option Windows 10 and we do want 64-bit. Insert it and the watermark will go away. So we're going to go ahead and accept this. I'll create media installation. So the language you want is English, Windows 10, and we do want 64-bit. Most modern systems are 64-bit. If you're upgrading an older desktop or an older laptop, you can uncheck this and select like 32-bit. But most modern systems are 64-bit, such as this PC right here. But if you suspect your system is quite outdated and it may be a 32-bit, you can check by going to your File Explorer, and we're gonna go to desktop. No, we're gonna go to this PC. And when we're at system type, I know if you're running an older OS like Windows 7, the navigation may be slightly different, but it's still going to be found in this PC and system properties up here. So let's see what system type this laptop is running. I'm pretty sure it's a 64-bit too, but we'll find out right now. Okay, so just like on Windows 10, it's the same thing. We're going to right click our folder, go to Windows Explorer, and then we're going to go to not this PC right here, it just says computer. So go to computer and you'll find it up here. Like once again, system properties. Clicking system properties, and this is, yep, I was correct. This is a pretty old system too, Windows 7, but yet this is also a 64-bit operating system. So a 32-bit operating system is very rare to find unless you're running like an ancient PC. So we're gonna go ahead and leave it at 64-bit, next. Select USB flash drive, next. So I only have one USB flash drive hooked up to the PC, so I know it's this one. Oh, and one important detail I forgot to mention, an 8GB flash drive. I'll link it down below in the video description. It's in size. It could be more than that, but it cannot be less than that. So a 4GB or a 2GB flash drive will not work. So the one I'm using is an 8GB flash drive. I'll link it down below in the video description. It's very cheap. I think it's only like $5. So this media creation tool we just downloaded, what does it do exactly? Well, operating system. So it's finished downloading Windows 10. Now it says creating Windows 10 media, which means it's not flash drive. So now we're going to be doing a clean. So go ahead and click finish and it's done. We should be good now. Turn off the computer, shut down. So there, we've copied over a bootable Windows 10 image onto this USB flash drive. So now we're going to be doing a clean install of Windows onto this PC. And when I turn on the computer, well, you guys will see right now. So when we first turn on the computer, we're going to see a splash screen. Now this splash screen tells us what key on our keyboard to press to boot to our BIOS. So right now my flash screen is telling me press F2 or press delete rapidly. If you're building a new PC, like a new gaming PC with a hard drive that's completely empty, doesn't have any Windows version on it, then you should be able to just plug in your USB flash drive, turn on the computer, and the motherboard will automatically to be our boot priority. So all I have to do is just drag the USB all the way to the top. So I'm not going to put save and exit. The PC will now reboot itself and it should now boot directly to your USB flash drive. So that's how you do it on a modern system. But what if you're doing it on an older system such as a laptop? This is my neighbor's laptop. It's old. It's got a lot of stuff on it that slows it down and we don't need. And it's old. I just said that. Windows 7. We don't want that. We want the latest and greatest Windows 10. It's a more optimized operating system. So we're going to turn off our laptop. We have one USB port right here. And I don't think that turned off our laptop. Laptops are funny. I think a lot of laptops, when you press the power button, it'll just put it to sleep instead of shutting it down. So just make sure your laptop is turned off. You could always go to Windows and then shut down, manually. But our laptop's off now, so I'm going to turn it on. And I'm going to see the BIOS right there, boot options. So yeah, different PCs, it might be a different key. It might be F12, it may be delete, it may be F2. But The BIOS splash screen will always tell you. And if you miss the timing period to press the key, just turn off your laptop and try it again. And now you know which one it is and you'll bring it up. So I brought it up. So where do we want to boot from? We want to boot from our USB drive. Different computers have different motherboards and different motherboards have different BIOSes. They look different. But what you want to do is you just want to get your computer to boot to your USB drive. Onto our hard drive. So click install now. Setup is starting, just let it load. Now this is what I was talking about. If you don't mind the watermark, go. Now the typical one is Windows 10 Pro. That's the one I'm gonna be installing. Just pretend like you read this. I accept the license terms. Next. Which type of installation do you want? Select custom. So if you're installing it on a brand new empty hard drive, it should only have one partition. So go ahead and select the one partition and click next. This is not an empty hard drive, so we have two partitions right here. So you gotta make sure you delete all the partitions. Data backed up because this will delete everything on the hard drive. It's not gonna start installing Windows. Now it's just a waiting game, just chillax. It should be done fairly quickly. And it's finished. Windows will now restart. And right now, you did it. It's pretty simple. Let's skip for now. Whatever you prefer, accept. So once again, just the waiting game. And eventually we'll boot into our desktop and we're done. We did it. Congrats. And see, it's pretty weird.